To another video. It's a tough video, tell a friend video, ad hoc. I've prepared a little bit, but oops, I actually prepared it in German, but I'll do this video in English. So the dynamics of our nows and the power of now, you may know, or in German the book is called Jetzt, yeah, by Eckhart Tolle, and I love that book. It's really good. And now the thing is, when you listen to the book or when you read the book, then there are so many explanations. It takes maybe 10 hours to read the book, and then now the thing is, can I explain that in like 10 minutes? So what I try to do is to say what this now, which is each moment is just now, and so on. But the now obviously has a past. There is a past and there's a future. Yeah. So it's not that the now is, isn't kind of connected to a past and a future, but we only have this moment. That is true. However, if I look, let's suppose that is a brain. Well, it's the now, but let's suppose it's a brain. And now we have the brain model in here, the intellect, the limbic system, and the reptile brain. And now the thing is, the events in the past, the events in the past have changed my brain. They have changed my brain. So I remember things, I have different ways of thinking, I have maybe a different vision. We'll put that maybe in green. The limbic system, my vision is a specific vision based on the events in the past, obviously also on my genetics, on what I've inherited from my parents. So it is, that is just my brain. However, the events in the past also influence my body. Maybe I have an injury, maybe I'm fat, maybe I don't have muscles, maybe, whatever it is, maybe I have an injury and so on. So one is the brain, and then the other is the body. And obviously then there is also materials. So I sometimes call it materialized past. So materialized past, which means the cars that are parked in my car park, the people that are around in my house, often the family, my house, and so on, all the stuff I have. So it's the debt I have, the money I have, and so on. So that is kind of the materialized past, which kind of influences my body and so on. So that is there, and we know that each part I possess has a little, connection into my different brains. And now the thing is, if I now think here, I have all that in that exactly that moment, in exactly that, let's call it 1 second. In that second where I am, this is all present, and then my vision creates a future. And now the thing is, the created things, all the created things, my body, my mind, and the material or the stuff I have, actually influence my future and vague events. So that is the probability of the events happening. And there are many events. The future is huge. And what I have created here influences the probability of these events happening. Now, on one thing I also want to go in, I will not go into who takes the decision, who makes that you change, because you could change. You can change your behavior, but I don't want to, so free will and all that. I don't want to go into that detail. But what I wanted to go into is, how do I think when I'm in the now? Because when you take, for example, as I understood from Eckhart Tolle, is when you think, then you go into your intellect. In the intellect, you move in the past, you move in the future, and then you come up with something, and then it goes in the limbic system in a goal you have, or in a behavior that you have in your limbic system, or in your reptile brain, or, well, it's kind of in the three brains. You are not afraid of it anymore, or you are afraid of it. In the limbic system, it's like a little computer program. You know how to react to specific things because you have structured it, you have thought about it, and so on. And now this is the thinking process. But what is it if I am in the now? Because I don't want to see it as a guru, just sitting there doing nothing. I don't know, sitting and staring towards the sea, sitting here on the beach and watching the sun go up and doing nothing for 12 hours, something like that. I'm thinking about, I have a lot of nows in my life, and now I'm at work, and so on. So how do I influence how much and what I think? Do I influence where I think? Do I say, okay, now I'm completely calm, and now the task, and now I deal with that task, and I move through the different brains, and I do. So what is the now together with the real thinking process? And I sometimes call it the flow. When you are one thing, and you are completely captured by 100% captured by your task, and that is the flow. And now the thing is, when you do that, then obviously the events from past to future, the time passes by, but somehow your brain kind of has switched off the external clock, and it just produces something inside. It's not aware that time passes. It's producing something, and then at a certain time, maybe you awake, consciousness, you say, okay, now I have a new event, maybe I learned something, let's do a task switch, and so on. So you interrupt the flow, and then maybe go into another flow. So this is one of the things that I haven't completely gotten my head around this whole thing, but I wanted to kind of share my ideas with you, but also with myself, so that if I look at it in a month's time, maybe I have developed something more accurate, and I will, now that I have this picture in my brain, I will now be able to look more in details into what is going on in my brain while I am in this moment. Thank you very much for listening. Bye-bye, and comments are most welcome.